Welcome back, Happy Crafters. Today we are going to work on the inside two covers of our album, which should be quick and painless. Fingers crossed. Let's get started. We'll do the pocket for the back for the booklet first. Okay, and as you can see, I'm decorating as you go, but you will see the walkthrough before we even start posting videos. Okay, so you're gonna find your piece and everything will be listed below, so I can't remember exactly what the measurements are. 5 1/4 by 9 1/2. So 9 1/2 by 5 1/4. You're gonna score at 1/2 and 1 inch, and 1/2 and 1 inch, and 1/2 and 1 inch on all the sides. Okay, so I've got it prepped here. Okay, as I flip it over, you're gonna see I've got acetate here. Now I only did that to reinforce when you grab your album, you squish it. If by chance that booklet is not in there, you'll squish. So I just kind of put some acetate in there so that doesn't fold. But you can reinforce it with packing tape. You can do the same thing. Just cut your acetate to be narrower than your two score lines, okay? So this one's all prepped, but we're going to do the work. So what you're going to do is you have 4 squares here, okay? We're going to cut the 3 of them off, but what we're going to do is we're going to cut up from the bottom, right in that score line, all through the 2 of them, okay? Right through the 2 of them so you can see. Okay, do that on both. Okay, just like so. Okay, then you're going to cut this off, but only that one score line. Okay, and then you're going to cut this one off just to that score line. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just going to trim up some edges here just so there's nothing in the way. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim that one down just a smidgen. Okay, so there you can see it. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. So you're going to cut up through both of those score lines, up through both of those score lines. Then you're going to cut the first section off, and then you're going to cut just that bottom one off. Okay, and then just give your edges a slight taper, and I'm just going to trim off a smidgen more just so there's nothing that interferes. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, now you can fold and burnish on your score lines. Okay, so fold and burnish, fold and burnish. We may do a little bit more tapering or of the edges just so there's nothing that kind of interferes with any of the folds here, just to be sure. I know there's going to be a lot of videos for this, but I just wanted to keep them as short as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're just going to take and just taper this edge just a tiny bit. Not much, just a tiny bit. Just so that there's nothing in the way of the folds. Okay, so this little piece is going to fold in just to kind of keep everything clean. See, just like so. Okay, so that's going to fold in just like so. Okay, so we're going to put the sides in and we're just going to tack them. Just going to fold and keep those edges, and then we're going to tack it. So just peel up this piece just a little, and then fold that in, line things up so that it's straight, and just kind of tack it, and then put something in there so that you can push it in, okay, because you want it to be straight, and we are not. Because you want that to be as straight as possible. So there you go. Just tack it so that you're straight, just like so. It's a pocket, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so then again on the other side. Okay, hold it up flat, even, so that you can tell, right? And it might just be that it's like so. Whoopsie. Just like so. Tack it down. Stick your finger in there. Okay, so there you have your pocket that's kind of sort of together. Okay, so now we are going to bring in our album, and it is going to go on the back. So let's clean up all these pieces because Lord knows I'll stick them. Okay, so it's going to go on the back here. So you're going to line it up, okay, along the bottom. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to pull a little pieces here that you can get, that you can grab onto. Okay, just like this. Same with this one. Just a little pull tab that you can grab onto once you have it in place. And then the same thing with the bottom. Okay, pull tab that you can grab once you have it in place and that you're happy, okay? So I'm going to use this side. Sorry, I keep getting far away from the camera. And I'm lining it up with the paper that you have on the inside. That's what I'm using as my guide. Okay, so I'm going to pull this side off. Okay, line it up. Don't set it down too hard. Now line up the bottom. And then using your seam, or your, just kind of tack it down like so. Find your bone folder, give it a burnish so that that side is down. We are working with little bits here to try and stay. Okay, so then I'm going to peel my bottom, okay, and have it I'm a little, let's see if I can pull that up. Oh, I was a little too far away from that edge. My lighting wasn't the greatest. Okay, so okay, stick that one down. Okay, get your bone folder in there. Give it a little push. Get other things out of your way. Okay, just give it a little push. Okay, so now you're going to work with your other short edge. Okay, pull that. You pull that right off. Okay, and then just make sure your lighting is good. And I am in the shadow. Okay, and so just kind of push it over so that you have about the same, and then stick it down. Okay, so just like that. Oopsie. Let's get, I have so many bone folders. I have a bone folder for everything. Okay, just like that. And so that is where your booklet is going to go. And there's lots of extra room. See, there's lots of extra room. You don't have to have that much extra room if you don't want it, but I did. So there's lots of extra room. You can just narrow this pocket up a little bit if you want it to be tight, but I wanted it from edge to edge. Okay, so that's that pocket. Okay, so now we are going to work on the pocket for the front, which I've done a gusseted pocket. So you're going to need a piece of acetate as well. And like I said, everything will be in the description box below. Okay, so we're going to have to do the same thing with these. We're going to have to cut them off. But first of all, okay, we're going to cut out a little spot so that we can have a window. It's not a very big window, but it's still a window so you can see what's in your pocket. Okay, so you're going to get your cutting surface. Okay, and now what I did is I drew a line. You're giving yourself a 3/4 of an inch space on the bottom and the two sides. And on the top, you have 1.5 inches. And that's so that you can, if you want to close it with magnets or something, you have a spot that you can put your magnets on. So that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to cut that out. So I'm going to use my non-skid ruler. Okay, and I am going to just cut on that, just that square. I don't want to cut farther. The lines are just so that you can see where to start and stop. So you only want to cut from one line to the next to cut out that box, okay? You can go back and trim it after. Okay, so you got one, okay? So then I'm going to cut the next one out. Just line up. Okay, just like so. Cut. And I try to use a non-skid because I do put a little pressure when I'm cutting on the ruler so that I'm nice and tight. Okay, so just cut. Make sure you're through your paper. Yep. Okay, and then you're going to do the other side. Now I will have the proper dimensions for what you cut everything, but my acetate is a little smaller because I changed the dimension of my square. So my acetate was a little too small, so I'm gonna have to fandangle my tape. Okay. So that side is cut out. Once more time. Okay. Lining up your ruler. I apologize again if my head is in the way, but my recording is all free, so I'm only using my phone and I don't even have I have it propped up on a shelf from a drawer. It's funny. Okay, so you just pull those apart, okay? And you want to flip this over so that you're on the bumpy side so that you're hidden, like when you fold it and you put your pocket down, everything, all of your marks are hidden. Okay, so now I need to tape, and I'm going to use 1/4 inch tape. And you're going to tape your acetate. Make sure it's clean and lint free if you can. I struggle with that. I have cats and dogs, so I've got more fur everywhere than not. Okay, so you're going to tape on all 4 sides of your acetate. Try and make sure that you can see where your acetate is. Okay, all 4 sides. And you can use patterned acetate if you like. I'm choosing to use clear acetate because I'm going to put patterned paper behind. Stampin' Up! Used to have different patterned acetate that you could get with polka dots and then other designs. One side was gold, one side was silver. I still have some of that, but I use it sparingly. Okay, so you're all taped up. I'm going to give these a little burnish so that they're down good. Clear out some of these bone folders. Rulers. Okay. Just give it, don't go like this because you'll scratch. So I'm just going to burnish with the corner. Give it a good, okay. And then I always dry fit, always. It never fails because I always do something wrong. So now, if I want a tighter seal here, which I don't care, I would put another strip of tape along those edges, but I'm not too concerned. Plus I could use it as a tuck spot if I really wanted to. So I'm going to peel my acetate now that I know kind of where I'm at. I'm going to peel it all if I can get in there. Peel all of my acetate or all of my backing. Okay. And then I'm just going to put it down, trying to not put it down ahead. Okay, there you go. Do the same thing, give it a burnish, make sure you've got a good stick. You can see the color change in your tape, how it turns darker when you got her burnished down. Okay. Like so. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have tape on the dinted side on the two sides, tape on the bumpy side on the bottom. That's because you have 3 score lines on the sides and only 2 score lines on the bottom. You'll see. Okay, so you can see here, hopefully you can see, we're going to cut out 5 of those squares and we're going to leave that 1 square, but we're going to angle cut it, okay? So we'll cut out these 2 squares. Okay, and then we're going to cut up to that one. Okay, so we will cut up on those 2 squares. Those 4 squares will come out. Okay, see, now we have this one, so we're going to cut that one off. Okay, and then you see that line, we're going to cut on an angle. We're going to taper this edge. Try to stay near my pencil mark. Taper that edge. Okay, and then you're going to cut up on an angle just like so. Okay, get rid of any little nubbins or here that you have. Get rid of those, okay? That's what you have. Okay, do the same thing on the other side, okay? So you're going to cut up just to the first score line on this one, okay? You're going to go from the side and you're going to cut over 2 score lines to the second score line, and then you'll cut those 4 squares off. I just want to make it so I can see well here. Cut those 4 squares right off, okay? Then you're going to cut that bottom square right off. Okay. Taper that edge just a little. Okay. And then cut that corner. Now I know this, you can do it with a straight edge or you can do it with your scissors. Just cut it on an angle. Okay. That is just going to be to keep this clean, to keep it nice and clean. Look finish on the bottom. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take your stylus and a ruler if you need, but you don't need to, and you're just going to come from this corner and to the middle here, and you're just going to score it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, just give that a score, okay? Okay, same thing on the other one. You're going to come out from that corner to the center, give it a score, okay? So now we'll fold of all of our score lines, okay? So we're going to flip it over, okay? Flip it over, and take your very first inside score line and score it towards the center. Burnish. Then you're going to come out with the next score line. Burnish. Okay, then in, again, you're making it an accordion fold, okay, with the next score line, okay. So you're going to do that all the way, or not all the way around, you can do that on both sides. So in with the very first score line on the inside, okay, out, back in, okay. You want to make sure that you cannot see those. We're good. Okay. So now with the bottom one, you're going to go in, burnish, and out. Okay. And that's why you have that tape on the bumpy side on that one. Okay. So now what you're going to do with this piece, okay, your little corner, is you're going to try and fold that in. Just like so. So that you have this nice clean edge there, okay? Fold that in. It should fold without any issues, okay? So just like that, okay? So now this bottom, and this bottom is going to go in, okay, all the way in. I'm not too sure what we have here. Just let's fight with that a little bit. I don't think we really needed that, but we have it, so it's going to keep it clean. Okay, you're going to fold those in, and this is what is going to stick. Okay, we need to trim up that a little bit. We need to fold that corner in just a little bit more. Just because you don't want to see it. You want to have nice and clean edges there. Okay, fold that in. Nice clean edges. You know, I really don't think we need that little triangle. But I guess when it folds out, it keeps it clean. I apologize, I'm mumbling blah blah blah, you don't care. Okay. So there's your pocket. So now this is going to go in here, and you're going to align it right along the edge. Okay, you're going to line up your paper edges, and if it doesn't go all the way to your score there, your gusset, or your my English is screwed up today. You know what I mean. I hope you guys are getting a good giggle. Okay, so we're gonna put this down, okay, and then this is gonna go over top, just like so, okay? So we're gonna peel just a little of our edge. Okay, I'm gonna pull up a little bit of everything. I'm gonna tack down this here. So I'm gonna pull that up, and I'm gonna tack that down, just like so. Okay, do the same thing on this side. If you can get it to pull, okay, just tack that down. Okay, so then you have something that you can pull there. Okay, and then you need this side. Okay, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna work with my outside edge first, and I'm gonna get that nice and lined up, just perfect. Just like so. I'm going to hold that down, and I'm just going to slowly peel and stick. Peel and stick, okay? So that's that edge, okay? So now I'm going to just going to hold it flat, and I'm going to line up the bottom, and I'm going to peel the other edge. Okay, just like so. Okay, and then I'm going to pull the bottom. The bottom is fine. Okay, just like that. Okay, so then you can take and you can just give it a quick burnish, just like so. Okay, so then you have your Oh, let me see. 5 by 7 3/4 inch piece, and you have your tape on the dinted side. Okay, fold, burnish, and as you can see, I rounded my corners. Okay, we're gonna taper these edges. You can round your corners or not, it's up to you. Okay, just give it a little taper, just to keep your construction clean. Okay. Bring it over, and however you need to place your album, I'm going to flip mine upside down. And I'm going to have it right along the top again of that paper, of the edge of your paper. It should be straight. Okay, just like so. Ta-da! Okay, hold it in place, and then I'm going to peel my tape. Okay, hold that down. Continue to hold. Ta-da! I am going to use magnets. Okay, so on here, I am going to place either 1 or 2 magnets, depending on. You can put a tab on here to pull with ribbon. Maybe we'll do that just to show that it flips. And here you have your pocket. So our album is now done. I am going to do another video on how to assemble everything once I get this little bit decorated. So I will show you how to, we can decorate this now, and then I'll come back with a video. We'll attach our pages, and hopefully, it's a little tight. We are a little tight. Should have had a little bit more room on our, but it'll be okay. It's not going to be too big of a deal if it, so I apologize. So we will come back with one more video on how to assemble everything, and then another video on how to do our shaker cover. So that may be all one video. We'll see how long they get. Thank you for watching. I hope you're liking everything so far. Have a great day and happy crafting.